Hello everybody. Today's video, unfortunately, is not going to be a glowing review of the Challenger. As you guys have probably guessed by the thumbnail and by my community post on my YouTube page, I tried. I really did. I put as many as 16 to 20 games in this thing. And almost every single one of those games today has been a complete disaster for me, without any exceptions, almost. I think there was one good game that I had. The most kills I ever got in a game was 4. And that was also in a battle that my team completely lost. And that was over 2 lives. So, I got a kill, I died once, I capped a point or something like that, respawned, got 3 more kills, and then the game ended. The only good game that I had that got any more than 1 kill was a match on Middle East where I said, screw it, and I drove up to the big old mountain in the southeastern corner of the map and just shot at SPAAs and low-tier vehicles that happened to drive in front of my gun. So, I wanted to like this tank. I really do. But it has shown me, time and time again today, that this tank just isn't quite capable enough. And that's down to a number of reasons. Part of it is my poor play. There is certainly a human error factor in this. I like to think of myself as a better-than-average player. And when I can't make this thing work, even in a coordinated squad, when I cannot make this thing work, there's something wrong. I could play 100 games in this tank, but if I'm still getting the same results over and over and over again, especially when I try and play this thing to its strengths, supposed strengths, it's hard to justify whether or not the vehicle is worth it. And as of right now, I'm inclined to believe that there is no reason to get this vehicle. If you can, I would say stop grinding this and go grind an Abrams, because you'll have a lot more fun in the Abrams than you will in this thing. This thing is just... oh, okay. Let me quickly go through the 3 main factors that I feel are at work here. 1, the gun. The ammunition for the gun, despite having very high penetration and being technically the most powerful KE rounds in the game that we currently have access to, as of 1.77, the gun is pitiful, honestly. Yes, you can penetrate quite a few vehicles in the game, but almost all the time when you do, the ammunition just doesn't do enough damage. You hit people, you penetrate them, but you don't kill them in one shot. I don't know if it's because Gaijin has nerfed APFSDS damage into the ground. I've heard that from people, and that certainly seems to be the case, at least here. Or some other factor, but this tank, not only are you paying a fortune for some of the ammunition, I fire predominantly the L23, not the L23A1. I fired a few rounds of it every now and then. I kind of keep a couple in reserve. But the problem with L23A1 is that it costs you nearly 1,000 credits a shot. And unless you are getting ace games back to back to back to back with no deaths, you're going to lose money. And a lot of it. With the amount of ammunition that you have to shoot to kill things on a regular basis, minimum is generally 2. Unless you get a lucky hit on an ammo rack. You're going to be firing at least 2 rounds to take a guy out. And especially if you're using the top ammunition, good luck on making a profit in this tank. Forget it. Leading on to the armor. The armor on this tank, it's horrible, to be completely honest. The strongest part of this tank is the upper part of the turret cheeks. The lower part are totally flat. That's just the way the turret is designed. Meaning, though, that any shots that penetrate through the outer Chobham armor, if they hit the base of the turret, they're going to go right through. Any of the APFSDS rounds will penetrate your turret if they hit the base of it. And it screws you over. Because it takes out your turret ring, kills your gunner, kills your commander, and oftentimes kills your cannon breach. You cannot fight after you've been hit. It's either that, or you get shot in the hull, which the hull armor is complete garbage, which was to be expected. We knew that going in. The hull armor is complete garbage. Not only that, but the ammo racks are completely unprotected on this tank. It wasn't until the Mark III variants where they actually put in wet stowage for these ammo racks. And even then, they can still explode. So if you get hit in the hull, odds are you're going to get hit in an ammo rack and you're going to blow up just instantly. And the last thing is the mobility. While the mobility is significantly better on this tank than it is on the Chieftains, the thing about this tank is it's just fast enough to get itself into trouble, but it's not maneuverable enough to get itself out. The thing that really defines a lot of these really, really good tanks at this tier is their ability to turn the hull and change direction very quickly. The Challenger cannot do that, especially on a slope. The Leopard 2K and the M1 Abrams, the reason why they're so good is because they can maneuver. The Challenger cannot. Even fully upgraded, with an ace crew, maxed out, you cannot maneuver with this tank. In addition, because of that lack of maneuverability, it is very difficult to change positions or get out of trouble when you need to. And if you get tracked or if somebody takes out your engine, you're done for. If you take a crippling hit that immobilizes you, you're dead. Most of the time. I tried with this tank. I really did. And I've got background video going. I tried 16 games in a row, and oh boy. Some people will say 16 games is too little, but you go play 16 battles in a row and tell me it's too little to get an idea of how this tank is. Maybe today was just a bad day. Dear God, I hope it was just a bad day. Because if this is how the tank is in its current state, then I would say go play a Leopard A1A1. You're going to have 10 times more fun playing a Leopard A1A1 at top tier than you will playing the Challenger one. Hell, go play the Chieftain Mark III. The Chieftain Mark III is amazing right now. It is so much fun at 8.0. This tank, not so much. I wish I had better things to say about this tank, but it's just not the case, guys. I'm sorry. I tried, and that's all I got to say. That's it.